कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पथा नश्चिन्वन्नो दिभिः सादनं श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती दीनामवित्र्यवतो वाग्देव्यै नमः। श्रीसरस्वत्यै नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषये भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुविष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहां त्रिणयनां माणिक्यमौळीस्फुरत्तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीं पीनवक्षोरुहां पाणिभ्यां मणिपूर्णरक्तचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् पराम् अम्बिकां श्रीललिता परमेश्वर्यै नमः। Today we will continue our discussions on chapter 14, Chaturdasha Adhyayam. So where we left in the previous class was where the Sloka, I think 16, where Manmatha goes to Amba and prays to her to give him a shariram, which is Anashcharam means immortal, indestructible, so that he can get a very long life and be an immortal person, and he will be able to and get the shariram. So two things: so he gets the shariram, and the shariram further. The shariram is manascharam, or indestructible, immortal, with which he can go and fight with Parameshwara and settle the old scores where Parameshwara had burnt him to ashes, and that kopam continues to be nurtured by Manmatha. And in order to win over Parameshwara, he requests this boon from Amba. That is where we left it in the previous class. Jara marana muktam che kurume paradevate etanme kankshidamna anyana anya iti anangena yachita. So I don't require anything else. This one boon that I am asking, please give it to me. In this way, Manmatha prays to Amba. And then in response, Amba says, Pratyuvache Mahashaktir Madanam Madiranana Devyuvache Kame Kamasudha Kame Tvat Sharira Manascharam Jara Marana Shunyam Che Bhavat Amurtha Bhajanam. So Ambal agrees to give him that shariram, and she continues to say, Tvad Bhanehi Pidida Shambur Yada Tvat Sharanantikam Samprapnodi Tada Shantim Maheshaya Dadamyaham. So she says, the only way that Parameshwara, the Bhavat Amrita Bhajanam, and from that is you will get the indestructible body. Twadbhane Pedida. So having been impacted by the arrows that you will be shooting at Parameshwara, Shambhu, Twacharana, and he will become Kama Pedida, and until such time he surrenders unto you and accepts that you are victorious, I will stay away from I will not interfere in whatever ways Parameshwara comes, and if he comes to ask me to interfere, I will not interfere. Samprapnodi tata shantim maheshaya dadhamyaham. So I give you the blessing for you to go and be victorious over Parameshwara. Tavad antamaham tushnim bhavami suma karmukha. So until such time that this thing happens, I will not interfere in the duel between you and Parameshwara. So the only way this whole thing will end is by Parameshwara surrenders unto you and accepts that you are victorious. So, Suma Karmuka. So, the Suma Karmuka is bow. Suma means Kusuma or flower. So, the one who is having the flower arrows, which is Manmatha. Then, Tasmad Gacha Shivastanam Iti Ityagya Prastaya Smarahe Parigrihya Varam Chapi प्रणम्य शिरसा शिवां स्वान्तके परमेशानि पूर्वोत्थितमहाकृदा जिगीभया एव काम कैलासं शिवशोभितम्. So having got that boon from Amba and with full of confidence, he set about towards Kailasam, and there Parigihya Varam Chapi Pranamya Shirasa Shivam. He paid his respects to Amba. Swantake Parameshani Purvottita Mahakrida. So, Purvottita Mahakrida. So, remembering his old kopam and continuing with that anger in his heart, Jigi Paya, in order to win over Manmata, in order to win over Parameshwara, Yayokame, Kailasham Shivashobhitam, the place where Shiva's place Kailasam. He went there. He went to Kailasham. Then Shwasharair Agnish Sadhyay Ardhayad Dharamo Vyayam Ardhayad Haramo Vyayam Tata Shivopi Vigyaya Kamena Parirtaniti. So he went and shot the arrows, his arrows, which are emitting that Kama Jwaram in Parameshwara. So another Swasaraihi Agnisadrishaihi. So it produces intense feeling of kamam in the person who is impacted by that arrow. So that kind of arrow he shot at Parameshwara. Having been shot by with those arrows by Manmatha, and Shiva understood that this is the job, or this is the work of Manmatha. Kamena Preritaniti. So he understood that Manmatha has done this. So once again he became very angry. What did he do? Netradalam Trishulam cha Divyam Pasapadatragam. So he sent his own responses in order to express his anger at Manmatha. So Netra Analam, so fire from his eye, then Trishulam with the trident, Shulam, Trishulam cha Divyam Pasupadathrakam. Pasupadathrakam also he used. So three kinds of ammunition were used against Manmatha. Momoche, Tashmin. So Parameshwara shot those arms at missiles at Manmatha. And what happened? Shulam Dvajakaram Abodhitam. So that the trident became a flag, and it became the flag for Manmatha's chariot. Shulam Dvajakaram Abodhitam. Astram Pasupadam Chabi Pushpamalyam Abodhatha. So the Pasupadatram that Parameshwara shot, it became a Pushpamala. Netran Alayod Adbhutasya Jwalad Ratna Kiridavate. So the fire that was emitted from his forehead, eye in the forehead, it became a Ratna Kiridam and went and was decorating Manmatha's head. In effect, none of the missiles that Parameshwara shot are of any use in fighting Manmatha. Mahadevyaha Katakshene Sarvam Vyartam Abhutpare. So it was all due to the blessings of Amba to Manmatha, that none of the missiles that Parameshwara shot at Manmatha had any useful effect. Then Tato Drishtvache Tat Sambhu Swakritam Viparitakam. So Parameshwara saw that whatever did missiles he shot were not of any use. And then what did he do? Manmatham Sundarakaram Nasahinam Sukham Gadam Nirikshe Tripurara Tirbagno Bhuktva Chakshanaz. So Simhasana Samutthaya Pravishya Antappuram Haraha. So Parameshwara realized that because Manmata is under the protection of Ambal, whatever he does is not going to be of any effect. So Niriksha Tripura Arati Bhagno Bhutva, Tripura Arati Bhagno Bhutva, Cha Dakshanat. So he stopped fighting with the Manmatha, and what did he do? Simhasana Samuttaya Pravishya Antapuram Paraha. So he went to the Antapuram, where Ambal's residence, and then Kapata Bandhanam Kurman, Srinam Sthanam Upayayo. He locked the doors and went into the Antapuram and started looking for Ambar so that he could have a conversation with her as to why this thing is going on and find a solution to this. So, but Ambar had promised to Manmatha that she will not interfere in the battle between Shiva and Manmatha. So what did she do? Tatak Kanchi Puradisha Kamakshi Kamavardini Swachayuda Yuddhashilascha Manmatasya Jayaicha. So what did she do? She decided that she should not interfere in this battle, and she also wanted Manmatha to be victorious. So what did she do? Swadattavara Rakshartam, in order to protect, in order to make sure that the blessing, the boon that she gave to Manmatha, Swadattavara Rakshartam Kamaya Susaririne Haragarva Apaharartam Mahatri Prasundari Tada Sarveshu Saivesu Kailasayadhyalushya Yatra Yatra Sthita Sarva Gauristvam Satayat Sthitaha. So, her decision that she should protect Manmatha and she should bring about the Garva Apaharam of Parmeshwara. So, through making him be defeated by Manmatha, what did she do? She took the Gauri Amsham from all the temples. Tada Sarveshu Saiveshu Kailasyadi Alayeshu Cha Yatra Yatra Sthitha Sarva Gauri Swam Gari Amsataya Sthitaha. Wherever the Amba's Amsam was present in various temples, all of them she grabbed Samakrishya Ikyado Devi Tushni Masi Chubanana Tado. So she grabbed all of them and then disappeared from Kailasham. Tato Maheshwara Shambhu Kailasyadhyaliyeshu cha Apashyan Swapriyam Gaurim Chintayam Akrishta Mansaha. So he went in, he was looking for Ambal, he could not find her. He went from temple to temple to temple, wondering whether she is in some other temple, some other place. Nowhere he could find Gauri. So in this way, he kept on searching for her. And finally, Kamapeta Sthitham Devim Gauri Vadrupa, sorry, Charan Chaitrani Sarvani Tata Kanchipuram Upagatha. So finally, he came to Kanchipuram. So he decided, but he might be able to find Ambal there. There, what did he see? Kamapeta Sthitham Devim Gauri Vadrupadharinim Kamakshim Tam Samalokya Sakshat Gaurim Vibhavayan. So when he came to Kanchipuram, all that he could see was Sri Kamakshi, representation of Lalita Mahatripura Sundari, and he thought that Ambal, Gauri is sitting in Kanchipuram in the form of Kamakshi, and so he assumed that she is Gauri herself. And then Kamakshi, Sakshat Gauri Vibhavayan, Shantaye Kamabanasya Tadantikam Upayayo. So he approached Ambal, because in his mind, he thought that she was Gauri herself. Tata Tapaspini Gauri Mahashangara Mohini Atyanta Tapsa Shambhum Samipe Samubhagatam. So Ambal saw that this Parameshwara, having been impacted by Manmatha's Kama Astram, is full of Kamam, overcome by the Kama feeling. He is now approaching Ambar, who is Lalita Mahatripura Sundari. He is assuming that she is Gauri, and so Ambal decides to put him to place. And what she says, Drishta Kopena sa Gauri Vachanam Chedam. Amba became very furious at Parameshwara. And then, what are you doing? And then, so she started uttering some word, Vachanam to Parameshwara with full of anger. What did she say? Kastvam kama sura praptam swasi tvam shankaro nava kimartam agatosi tvam vada tat karanam yime. What do you think? Why are you coming near me? And you are now full of calm. You have been overcome by kamam, and with that kamam feeling, you are coming and trying to come near me, and this is not proper. So why are you doing this? Kim arthamagadosi tvam vada tat karanam hime. So, and she asks Parameshwara to explain that. Iti gauri vachasrutva madanagni pititaha kamalilotsuka sambhu idam vachanam abravit. So Parameshwara, having been overcome by the feeling of kamam towards Gauri, assuming that she is Kamakshi is Gauri herself, he responds to Kamakshi. Kim babashe Mahagauri Vallavetvam Manonmani Namastanani Sarvani Samparityajya Chandike. Why did you leave Kailasham? Why did you come here? Hey Mahagauri, why are you disguising yourself in the form of Kamakshi? So, Kim Babashi Mahagauri Vallabe Tvam Manonmani. You are my Manonmani, you are my dearest wife. And why did you come to this Kanchipuram? And why did you completely take away all the Gauri amshams from various temples? Sarvani Samparichadya Shindige. Kimartam Atra Praptasi Mahyam Tatkaranam Vada. Tell me what is the reason for all these acts of yours. Asmin Pite Stithashaktir Brahma Vishnavisha Karanam Kutra Sadhya Gatha Devi Tanme Bruhi Mama Priye. How you who are my wife, so you are appearing in the form of Shakti, who is responsible, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, for the creation of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Gauri is not the same as Kamakshi, but Gauri is not the same as Lalita. So, Kutra Sadhya Gada Devi, Tanme Bruhi Mama Priye. So he is asking, why she is disguising herself as Kamakshi. Mama Sarvahita, Kamamochini, Matkutumbini. Mayikim Kopamasitya Bhavati Kim Ihata. And why are you angry at me? After all, you are my wife, and I want you to be with me. And why are you getting angry at me? And why are you appearing in the form of Kamakshi? Etat sarvam kramadutva kamashantim cha maikro. So, and you see my current state, and therefore you have to come with me so that we can be together. Then Devi Vacha. Naham Gauri Mahashakti Tvad Harikaranam Gaurim tu tapasa prapya Tashe Prichasvakaranam. So don't assume that I am Gauri. I am not Gauri. I am Mahashakti. I am the one who is responsible for you, Brahma and Hari, to be created. Gaurim tu tapasa prapya. If you want to obtain Gauri back again, you have to do tapas. Tapasa tache prichasva karanam. Yeah. So if you do that, you may be able to obtain her. Or alternatively, if you can't get her through your meditation and prayers, the only other way is what you should do? Nachet smaram va sharanam braja tvam madanasara. Hey, Parameshwara, who have been fully overcome by kamam madanathara. So what you have to do is you have to go and surrender yourself to Manmatha. So Nache Smaramba Sharanam. So you surrender yourself to Manmatha, and he will be able to help you in the matter of you obtaining Gauri back again. Ityakarnya Mahadevastam Gauri Miti Chintayan. So Ityakarnya Mahadeva Tam Gaurim iti Chintayan Manmatotyupakaraye Mayidroha Vilasini iti Nistisha Manasa Mahakopanalojjalaha. So even at that point of time, Parameshwara thinks that this is Gauri who is doing all these things in order to help Manmatha. Manmatha Upakaraya Mayi Droha Vilasini, and she is trying to take the side of Manmatha, and she is not helping me, and she is doing Droham to me. In this way he thought, and then Iti Nishchitya Manasa Mahakopa Kopanalalo Jwalaha. So he became very, very furious and was extremely angry. Balatkarin Tham Devim Grihitam Upachakrame. So by force, he was trying to grab Ambal's hand and drag her towards Kailasam. Tatakopena sa Devi Swakataksha Prasaranat. Now Ambal became extremely furious, and what she did was, in the place of one Manmatha, she created crores of Manmathas. So, Tata Kaupena sa Devi, Swakataksha Prasarana, Kodikaman Sasarjate, Tadanaya Maheshithu. So, after all, the Manmatha is her son. So, she created crores of Manmathas so that all of them together can attack Manmatha. At least that way, he will not be trying to act forcibly towards Ambar. So, Kotikaman Sasarjatam, Tadanaya Maheshitu, Tatas Samadhi Deshabun, Kurudvum Shambhu Pedanam. So, all those Manmathas simultaneously attacked Parmeshwara, and he was inflicted with more and more of those Kama weapons. Ityagnyapya Tarakama Pedayamasuhu Ishwaram. So, they all inflicted heavy attacks on Parameshwara. So now Parameshwara, he is doubly angry because number one, Gauri is not obeying him, and number two, he has been inflicted with arms by these weapons from all those crores of Manmathas. So he becomes extremely angry. So Tato Maheshwaras Sambhu Kamabanaicha Mudritaha, having been inflicted with arms by those Manmathas arms, Mama Priyadhyakopene Kenehe Samupagata Ityalochatu Sarvam Jigyasus Tripurantakaha. So, Mama Priya, this Mahagauri, who is my wife, why is she doing all this? And thinking in this way, he said that this Parameshwara Mahakopojvala Shambhu Kaman Devyas Samuthitan Nihantum Kalpayamase Koti Rudran Harakshana. He creates crores of Rudras in order for those Rudras to fight with those crores of Manmathas. And then what happens? All those Manmathas are destroyed. Dvastvan Swajatas Rudraistan Kritva Gauri Mimaswakam Baladakrasha Sangartam Swakataksha Niriksha. So what did he do? He creates crores of Manmathas, Rudras, and those crores of Rudras fight with crores of Manmathas, and all the Manmathas are destroyed. And then finally he destroys those Rudras, Swajatas Rudrahitan Kritva Gauri Sadvastan Swajatas Rudrahi. So there all those Rudras that he created, they were once again destroyed by Rudra, and he thinks that he has settled scores with Gauri, and he can take her back. But Baladakrisha Sankartam Swakataksha Nirishna Sanjahara Harastatra Koti Rudran Vichakshana Tada Punar Mahadevi Katakshos Kataksha Uttaisha Manmataiha. So once again, Ambar, she creates another crores of Manmathas, even though the first set of Manmathas have been completely destroyed by Parameshwara. Then Vijitascha Punashambhu Kalpayamas Rudraha Tato Rujahate Tatra Suladhyahita Paneha. So Ambar Tata Punar Mahadevi Kataksha Uttaisha Manmataihi. So lots of Manmathas again they come out. Vijitascha So, in order to beat them, in order to beat those second set of Manmathas, Puna Shambhu Kalpayamasa Rudrakan. Parameshwara also created crores of Rudras, and then Tato Rudrascha Te Tatra Sulabhyavita Paneha Drishtva Tam Manmatham Taistu Chakruhu Yuddham Shivagya. So those Rudras went into having the Shulapanis, they went into fighting with the various Manmathas who have been created by Ambad. Tatho Adidharunam Yuddham Ubayesham Abuddhata. This time it was a heavy battle between the crores of Manmathas and the crores of Rudra. Kama Rudran Vinirjitya Chakruthe Vijayadhvanim. This time all the Kamas, so many of them who have been created by Ambad, they won over all the Rudras, and then they made the sound of victory. Kama Rudran Vinirjitya. So having won over those Rudras, Chakruste Vijayadhvanim. They made the sounds of victory. Tato Rudreshu Bhagneshu Shishtangyam Vikshitam Haram. So Sishta Angam Vikshitam Haram. So that Manmatha, Yeshua, eventually accepts defeat, and then he stands there all alone. All his Rudras have been defeated or killed by the Manmathas. At that time, Manmatha looks at Parameshwara, and what did he do? Shmashanam Swagraham Padmagraham Padmasharena Cha. He shoots his 5 arrows, as you know. Manmatha has got 5 flowery arrows in his to shoot with his bow, and the 5 flowery arrows being, as we have discussed before, the what are the various flowery arrows? Number 1 is lotus, Padmam. Second one is Ashokam. The third one is mango, Chuta flower, which is the third one. And fourth one is Mallika, number 4. And number 5 is Nilotpalam, right? So, Padmam, Ashokam, Chutam, then Nilotpalam, and then Mallika. So those 5 astras. So he shoots those 5 arrows at Parameshwara, and what happened? Smasanam Sugraham Padma Griham Padma Sharena Cha. So the Padma Astra, Padma flower Astram, he converts the Masanam, the place where Parameshwara stays, into a Padma Graham. And then Gora Rupam Divya Deham Ashoka Kesharanena Cha. So with this second one, which is the Ashoka flower, the arrow that he shoots, it converts Parameshwara into a Divya Rupa Dhari, and then Charma Divyambara Prapyam Sahakara Sharin. So the elephant skin, which is which Parameshwara is wearing, that gets converted into a Divyambaram with the use of that Sahakara Sharin. Sahakara Sharam means the mango vastram. And then Sarparajam Pushpamala Mallika Kisharin, that elephant, this snake becomes a flower garland, and then Netranalam Sudatmasvam Nilotpal Saran. So Netra, the fire, is converted into Amritam by the Nilotpal Saram. Yetat Evam Kritva Maheshaya Panchabana Prayogataha. So he converts Parameshwara to a Shanta Swarupi, Divya Rupam, with beautiful dresses, so that he can go to Ambal. So, Ata Devyantikam Nitva Hanu Santadya Hasyataha. Now, having converted Parameshwara into this shape, he takes Parameshwara to Ambal and then tells Parameshwara, Bicha Patram Tasya Haste Datva, Bicham Chareti Cha. So he tells Parameshwara, now I have won over you, and so now you go to Ambar and ask her for her protection. So he gives a Biksha Patram in his hand and then tells him to go and ask for Biksha from Parameshwari. So Biksha Patram Tasya Haste Datva भिक्षां चरेति च एवं तं परिभूतं च दृष्ट्वा देवी vacho brahit. So that Parameshwara, who has accepted defeat and who has come and stood in front of Ambar, Mahatripura Sundari, Ambar tells Parameshwara, what did she say? Adhyatvam kama vijitastava darpo vritha vritha. So now, having been defeated by Manmatha, I suppose your garbham is fully removed. So, darpo vritha vritha tasmat te jita rudra hi mad utpannascha manmataha. So, you have been won over by the various manmatas who have been created by me and who came out of my body. Tan prapya sharanam tumhi madhyanam kuru sarvadha madhyam. So, please now accept, please now surrender to that manmata. And then after surrendering to him, please meditate on me. Madhyanam to Kuru Madhyanam Kuru Sarvada. So please meditate on me all the time. Tene vasmi tvai prita tava patni jayate. If you do that, number one, you have to surrender to Manmata. And number two, you have to meditate on me, pray, do prayers, meditation on me. And if you do that, then teneva asmi tvai prita tava patni jayate. Then I will convert to Gauri and we become your wife. Tvai prita tava patni jayate taya tvat kama santischa bhavishyati na samsaya. And once I do that, you will get Gauri back and your Kama Shanti you will be able to obtain Kama Shanti and you will be all right. So Taya Tat Kama Shantischa Bhavishyanti Na Shamseha Tasmat Aham Mahagauri Pashya Tvam Mamacha Akritim. So Ityuktvat Tatra Kamakshi Yatharupena Savabhau. So, having said this, I will come in the form of Mahagauri. So, having said this, she disappeared from there. Tasman aham Mahagauri pashyatvam mamacha akritim ityuktva tatra kamakshi yatarupena sabhabau eki chaharate dehe sve tada manmata mandalam tato devim pranamyesho kamakotim cha takshanat. So, all those eki chakara dehe tve tada manmata mandalam, all those manmadas, they offered their respects to tato devim pranamyesho kamakotim cha dakshana. So that at that time, all the manmatas, they offered their respects to Kamakshi pradakshini kritya punah pranamya shirasa tatah Pidam Odhyanakam Kshetram Jagama Parameshwara. So Parameshwara also, he offered his respects to Ambar and then he went to Pidam Odhyanakam Kshetra Jagama Parameshwara. Parameshwara also went to the Odhyanak Kshetra, which is Kanchepuram. Then Atha Kamo Mahadevya Shasana Udurupatah Vyom Nistitvartha Odhyabi Karoti Tripurasutha. So all those manmasas, they all got converted into stars and were made to permanently station themselves in the skies above. So Vyom Nistitva Tapodhyabi Karoti Tripurasutha Tasman Tatra Grahat Sarve Grahesha Bhaskaradehe Tesham Madhyena Gachanti Pradakshina Yena Santite. So those stars, because they are from Ambal's sons and they have been converted into stars, the Aditya, the Navagraha Devatas, they go only around them, meaning that they are situated between the earth and the orbits of the Navagrahas. So what do they say? Grahesha Bhaskara Dehe Tesham Madhyena Gachanti Pradharikshena Yanti. So they only go around these crores of manmathas who have been converted into stars. So that is what happened. So Parameshwara has been won over. Parameshwara has gone to Kanchipuram to worship Amba, and Manmatha has obtained his wishes, and the Manmathas who have been created, they all have become stars, and they are now hanging in the sky. That is the end of that story. Kadachit. So now still the situation is that all the Gauris have not been restored, and Parameswara has to do something about it, right? So kadachit Atha Lokesha Kailasadi Alayeshu cha Sevartam Parameshascha Samagatya Alayam Tada Devihina Alayam Drishtva Shivastaneshu Sarvasha Kim Artam Ambika Nasti Sarva Shaivalayeshu cha. So he goes to Kailasa. Oh, Brahma, he goes to Kailasam. He finds that there is Ambal is not there, and Parameshwara is also not there. So Devi, and then then he goes and looks at various temples. In all the temples, he cannot see Gauri. Devi Hina Alayam Drishtva Sivashastaneshu Sarvajaha. In all the temples that he goes, he is not able to see Gauri. Kim Martam Ambika Nasti Sarva Saivaliyesha. So what is the meaning of this? I'm not able to see Gauri in any of the temples. Iti chintya tato Brahma Kamakshi Ashityam. This must be so. Kamaksha Ashityam iti. So he comes to the conclusion that this must be one of the Leelas of Sri Kamakshi. Vigyaya Jnanadashtaya cha Kamakoshtamhi thale Kamaksha Sannidhyam Prapya Dhyatva Aradhya Maheshwarim. So he understands that this is the Leela of Sri Kamakshi, and therefore Vigyaya Jnanadrishtaya too. So he using his Jnanadrashti to understand that this is the work of Sri Kamakshi, and so he comes to Kamakostam, and then Kamaksha Sannidhim Prapya. So he comes to Kamakshi Sannidhi, Jatva Aradhya Maheswarim. He pays his respects to Ambar. Sarvaliyeshu Shaiveshu Sarvalokastiteshu cha Yatashambhustatha Gauri Sada Sannidhyakankshya. So he wants to restore the status quo, the original situation, where in every temple Mahagauri will be there along with Parameshwara. So Yatashambhu Tatha Gauri Sada Sannidhyakankshya. In order to bring about that situation, he wanted to, Brahma wanted to restore back the situation where Ambala and Parameshwari Gauri will be together. Hrididhyadvad Kamakshi Dwadashatam Tabo Kared. He meditated on Kamakshi for 12 years. Tata Prasanna Sadevi Kamakshi Bhakta Kamada Tata Brahmanam Alokya Vachanam Chedam Abravi. So Ambal appears in front of Brahma, and she, she decides to give him that wish that Gauri will be restored back to back in all the temples. So she talks to Brahma. Devi Vacham Pura Kamesha Yor Yuddhe Kshetra Smista Chaturmuga Harak Kamen Bagnobud Swasma Kshetra Midam Vidam Vide. So she recites him the story that in order to in the fight between Manmatha and Shiva, that Shiva was defeated. Kama Ishayor Yujudde Kshetra Asmin Tus Chaturmukha. That Yuddham between Manmatha and Parameshwara happened here in this place. Harak Kamena Bagnobod, the smart Kshetram Idam Vide, Shivajit Kshetram Ityuktam, Idam Kshetram Vina Bhuvi. So, what is going to happen in this place where Parameshwara was defeated by Manmatha? This one place will be known as Shivajit Kshetram, and therefore leave this one Kshetram away. Rest of the places, Sarvalayeshu Saiveshu, Sannidattam Sadambika. So in all the other temples, Gauri Sannadhi will be restored, but not in this temple. Shivadi Kshetram iti yuktam idam Kshetram vina bhuvi sarvaliyeshu saiveshu sannidattam sadambika saivaleshu lokeshu kuru devyastu darshanam. So people will be able to worship Gauri and Parameshwara together in all the other temples, but not in this temple. ब्रह्मोवाच अस्मिन् क्षेत्रे महादेवी देवी हीनशिवालया मन्मथेन तु किं लब्धं तन्मे ब्रूहि महेश्वरी. So what he is asking, the Brahma, it's fine that you have agreed to restore the Gauris in all the other temples, but in order for this temple, Sri Kamakshi temple, the Gauri to be restored, Parameshwara's and Gauri to be restored, what is the way? Please tell me what one should do in order to achieve that situation, in order to achieve that result. Asmin Kshetre Mahadevi Devi Hina Shivalayat, which is this Kamakshi temple, Manmathena tu Kim Labdham Tanme Brohi Maheshwari. How is it going to happen now? So please tell me. And then Ambal says, Asmin Chetre Mahashambhur Shambhur Bhavet Kamajahi Vide. So, as you know, the reason, because this is Sivajit Kshetram, this is not Shiva, is not going to be there together with Gauri in this temple. But if at all there is a situation where the Asmin Kshetre Yada Shambhu Bhavet Kamajayi. So if Manmatha, Parameshwara is able to, at some time in future, win over Manmatha, then Tata Samsobhita Gaurya Chutalingam Bhavishyati. So then Parameshwara, in the form of Chutalingam Ekamreswara, will be able to be together with Ambal Mahagauri. So in order for that to happen, Parameshwara should be able to win over Manmatha. Ityukta Parayashaktya Vidhi Prapanchatam Punaha. So now Vidhi is Brahma. So he realizes that it's not going to happen. Now he has got a problem. So he says, okay, if that is the situation, then I have a problem. Brahma Vacha Varshe Maheshasya Devi Hinasya Shulinah Vivaham Chutanatasya Keno Payena Tam Charet Ityakarnya Mahadevi Muhurtam Maunamatitha Ada Brahman Amalokya Idam Vachanam Abravit. So Brahma says, hey, I got a problem. I have to conduct the wedding of Ekamereswara and Mahagauri every year. That is the Agya. So Varshe Maheshasya. How is it possible if Gauri is not there? Devi Hinasya Shulinaha. How can Shiva's wedding be completed if Ambal is not there? In this temple, Gauri is not going to be there. Therefore, we need a way to complete that wedding on an annual basis. Vivaham Chutanatasya Kenopayena Tamchara. So please tell me the way to complete that wedding function on an annual basis. So Ambal tells Brahma the solution for that. Devi Vacha Asmin Kshetre cha Lokesha Sarva Saivalayeshwari Ekakriticha Sabhutva Ekam Beti Sasanghya Mama Palakshana Dhyati Chijjoti Prabhyambika Tad Jyotish Chutanadasya Jnana Naishtika Bhavatah Tapo Lavanya Saundarya Bhavet Tatrakshanena Sa. So what will happen? So already Gambala Sri Kamakshi is there. From her eyes, Mama Palekshanayad Dhyati Chijjoti Prabhyambika. There will be from my eyes, forehead eyes, Jyoti will come out, Chijjoti will come out. That Chijjoti, Tad Jyoti, Chutanatasya Dhyana Naishtika Bhavataha. That Ekam Ambar, that Jyoti which comes out, will be in the form of an Ambar who, a Gauri, who will be dedicated to Dhyana Naistika Bhavataha. So she will be in the form of Gauri, who is devoted to Ambar. So what in that Ambar, Tato Lavanya Saundarya Bhave Tatra Kshaninasa. So for a brief second, she will appear. And what you have to do, so Ekakritischa sa bhutva, Ekambeti sa Sanghya. So I will create one Ekamba, so one Ambar, who will be in this form, who will come out in the form of from my forehead, eyes, for in the form of a Chijjoti, and she will be that Ekamba, who will be the Mahagauri. What you have to do is Tam Devim Dhruvatostapya Sarvasaivaliyesha. So you take the impression of that Mahagauri who is appearing in the form of a Chijjoti, and then you convert it into, using that appearance, you convert, you establish a Mahagauri in the form of a statue, and then install that statue in all the temples. That is right. Mula tam devim dhruvatostapya tervasaivaliyeshu cha mula vigraha rupene sampujyaika ambikam shivam. So you create that, using that form, you create the Gauri's statue, and that statue, that kind of vigraham, you should install in all the Shiva temples, which in order for the Gauri to be worshipped in those respective temples. Mula vigraha rupena sampujya ekambikam shivam tata. That appearance should be as follows. What is appearance it should have? Tata dvibhuja samyuktam dakshahasta satchukam lamba mama kara ambojam tribangim daksha kunjitam. So that Ambar who will be created will be, as we described before, she'll have two arms, dvibhuja samyuktam dakshahasta satchukam. So on her right hand she will have the parrot, lamba mama karambojam. So very long hand. Left hand. In the left hand there will be a lotus, then right hand parrot, then Vamakastam is the lotus flower. Tribangim, her form will be bent in three places like a bow. Daksha Kunjitam, that bending should be toward the right side. Tam Danud Vigraham Tanvim Sarvabharana Bhushitam. So that Ambar, so who will be in the form of a bow, that she will be fully decorated with the Sarva Abharana Bhushitam, Divya Lohena Nirmaya. So you create a statue in using Swarna Vigraham, so Divya Lohena. So with a very with Swarnam. So Nirmaya, having established Tam Avahya Dhruveshwarim. So you do Avahanam of Dhruveshwari, that Gauri in that Vigraham, and then what you should do, Kalyana Divase Chuta Mahalingasa Sanvidao. So on the having done the Avahanam and having done the pujas, on that to bring that Vigraham of Ambar to the Sannidhi of Chutalingam in order to complete the Vivaham. Kalyana Divase Chuta Mahalingasya Sannidam Tam Aniya Mahagaurim Kalyanam Shivayorbuda. So bring that Vigraham on the Panguni Uttram day, and then you conduct the wedding using that Vigraham of Ambar as Mahagauri. Kutva Pareshni Masayani Shivayor Utsavam Kramat. And having completed the Vivaham, you come in the evening, you conduct the Utsavam also. Kriva Pareshni means the next day. Pareshni Sayang in the evening. Shivayor Utsavam Kramat. Dhruvalaye Mahagaurim Shankaram Shankaralaye. On the having completed that Utsavam, next day, what you should do? You should restore the Ambal position, Ambal to the Ambal's temple, and to Shankaram Shankaralaye, the Parameshwara to the Ekamraya temple. So, Shankaram Shankaralaye Dhruvalaya Mahagaurim. Yatastani Ndehitvam. Dhruvahina Alaya Ambika. So Dhruvahina Alaya Ambika. So both of them should be restored back to their respective places after the wedding function is completed. Dinadvaya Archita Chetsa Mahan Dosha Prajayate. If you continue to keep those two vigrahas together after the second day, it will become a Mahadosham. So Dinadvaya Archita Chetsa Mahan Dosha Prajayate. And how you should conduct the puja of this Ekambika, Vedokta Tantra Margena. So according to the Vedic Tantram, Durvasasishyaikar Vede. So according to the method taught by Durvasa Rishi, to who will be establishing the procedures, according to that, you will have to worship this puja to the Gauri. Kritva Gauri Abhishekancha Sahasra Kalasishtada. So with Sahasra Kalasas, you have to perform the Abhishekam of that Ambal. Yajanam cha tata kritva varshe kramento. So every year you have to follow this procedure. You have to keep this Ambal Vigraham separately in one temple, Ekamreswara separately in another temple, and then you have to bring the Ambal's Vigraham to Ekamra's Vigraham on Pakadi Uttarab day. You must complete the wedding, and then the next day conduct a Utsavam, and then restore the Vigrahams to the respective places. Utsavadin Yada Shastram Karayitva Maheshituhu Paschat Manoratham Ladbha Gachatum Nijamandiram. So you restore the Vigrahams to those respective places. Evam Swayam Bhuve Chotva Swabimba Antargadet. So having given these instructions, Ambar disappeared back into her temple, so into the Kamakshi temple. So now the instructions were given. So Manmada has the method of restoring the temple Gauri in various temples have been given, and how the instruction for how the Vivaham can be conducted every year, that was also given. Now, Sarvalayesh Lokeshu Yatha Purvam Tadambika Ekambikam Swakritim tu Chakara Swamsha Bhavanat. So he restored the Mahagauri in the various temples, and then he made this Vigraham according to the instructions given by the Swarna Kamakshi, according to the instructions given by Amba. Ekambikam Swakritim tu Chakara Swa Amsha Bhavanat. That appearance which was of Amba, in the same form, he established that Vigraham also. How is it going to happen? Etasmin Yeva Samaye. That happened on this following day. Etasminyeva samaye kalpe Svetavaraha manmantrecha moksha ke thamase saptame shubhe. So that in the Svetavaraha kalpam bhokya ke thamase saptame shubhe. So that Manu in that period was Bhokya Manu, and that period Manvantram is so Manvantrecha Bhokya Akhe. So Bhokya Manu, so that period Tamase Saptame Shubhe Yuge Krite. So that the Hayagriva Avatar Samaye. So the time in the time when it happened was the Hayagriva Avatar time. Then Sri Mukhavarsham Gadastirtake Basi, which is Aipasimasam, Gadastirtake Masi, Kartike Akpaye. So according to the Chandramam, it's the Kartika Masam, Krishna Paksha Dasamyam tu, and Krishna Paksham Dashami Shukravaram Jinodhe Purvapalgunyakya Tharam Madhya Bhage. So in the second bhagam of that day, on that day, it was the Purvapalguni Nakshatram. On Aipasimadam, Krishna Paksham, Friday, On that day, it was Purva Balguni Nakshatram. And that day, Mahatripur Sundarjaha, that happened, this event happened on that Aipasi Pura Nakshatram. So, what happened? Mahatripur Sundarjaha, Palanitra, Vikasataha, Avirasi, Param Jyoti, Sajjoti, Chakshanina. So, one for a brief second, that from out of Ambal's third eye appeared this Jyoti, Chit Jyoti. So Avira Sid Param Jyoti, Tat Jyoti, Tat Jyoti, Tat Shanin, Bimba Kritistato Bodhva, Divya Lavanya Shevadihi, Dubuja, Shamala Kara, Japak, Akshavalayan Vitha. So the appearance was according to the form that was described by Amba. Jatha Mukutabhushadhya, Dvinetra, Tripurambika, Chitswarupa, Mahagauri, Suprasanna, Bhavaudasa. So Ambal appeared on that day for a brief period. Tam Abhyacha, Tato Brahma, Tavat Saundarya Sayutam. So he grabbed the image of that Ambal who appeared for a brief period on the Daipashi Puram, and then Dvinetram, Dvibhujam, Gaurim, Dakshahasta, Sachukam, Lambavamakaram, Bhojam, Trabangim, Dakshakunchitam, Tam Dhanur Vigraham, Tanvim, Tarbhabarna Bhushitam, Navapadma Dalakara, Nayanadbhayo Shobhitam, Pitam Varadharam, Pitam, Manikundala Manditam, Sarvasringara Veshadhyam, Trabangim, Divyalohataha. So that appearance which came in front of Brahma, which had all those features. So Chitsvarupam, then what is that? Dvinetram, Dvibhujam, Dakshahasta Sukam, Vamakasta Ambojam, Tribangim, Dakshakunchitam, all that, those appearances which were described before, exactly same form was the appearance of Ambal. He grabbed the image of that Ambal and then he created that Swarnakamakshi. So Sarva Singara Veshadhyam, Tribangim, Divyalohatah, Kshanat Kritva, Drivastam Tam, Tasmin Avahya Modatah. So with that, he created that Swarna Kamakshi, and then he did the Avahanam of the Driveshwari in that Swarna Kamakshi Vigraham that he created. And then he did puja for 6 months. So then Kartike, Margari, Tai, Masi, Panguni. So Taipasi onwards, Aipasi, Kartike, Margari, Tai, Masi, Panguni. 6 months. Shan Masam, Nyasa Jaleshe, Nyatvar, Abhyatya, Vitamaha. So for 6 months, every day he did the pujas. Then Shiva Kalyana Divashe, Mahashakti Vacho Nugaha, Vidhi Vacha Mahadevya Kritva Vaivahirotsavam, and he completed the wedding function on the Panguni Uttaram day, according to the instructions given by Ambar. Atha Abhishekam Nirvatya Swakarastha Ambujam Vidhi Swakarastha Sukstarat Mujam Vidhi Visasarjit Omni Tatra Kshanam Dhyanadipurvakam Tato Vyamni Samutpanna Akasa iti Vishwataha. So he completed all the functions according to the instructions given by Ambar, and then the Visasarja Vyomni Tatra Kshanam Dhyanadipurvakam Tato Vyomni Samutpannascha Akashasta iti Vishwataha Chandra. So he created one Devata, one from the Akasha. What did he say? Tato Vyomni Samutpannascha Akasha iti Vishrutaha. One king, because he needed to complete the puja on an annual basis. So in order to do that, the Akasha Raja was created. So Atha Abhishek, then Chandramsa, just Chakravarti, Chandramsa Chakravarti. From the king, the Akasha king was the representation of moon. Chandra Amsaja Chakravarti, that Akashat Samaya he came down to earth. Tad Dharma Palanartham to Varsheva Shekramani. So the Brahma created that Akasha king, who is the representation of the Chandramsham, whose responsibility was to complete the wedding function on an annual basis. Tad dharma paranartham tu varshe kramena se. And then having created that king, he also gave him Akshayam Dhanapatram cha Panchachikhnani Padmabohu. Padmabohu is Brahma. He gave him the following Akshaya Patram, Dhanapatram. So, and then Panchachikhnani, he gave him 5 insignias. Akasha Bhumi Palaya Datva Krutvan Anushasanam. He gave him the instructions as to how to conduct the wedding function on an annual basis, which were the same instructions as given by Ambal to Brahma. Sarvaliyeshu Lokeshu Drishtva Gaurim Pitamagah Punastvabanam Prape Tad Tatan Vado Bavad Vidihi. So he completed the function. He established Gauri in all the temples, and then finally he went back to his place. Mana Keda Vanvitam Dinam Andibhutam Swavallabam Drishtva Saraswati Devam Dam Vachanam Abravit. So what happened to Brahma? He finally reached his own place, but then when he reached his place, he realized that he has become Mandibhutam. He had become blind. So Manakhedha Anvidam Dinam Andibhutam Swavallabam Drishtva Saraswati Devi Saddam Vachanam Abhravit. So he goes to his own place, and then he realizes that he has become blind. So he was unable to see Saraswati, and at that time Saraswati Devi tells him as to the reason as to why he has become blind and what he should do to get over that difficulty. And that we will continue in the next class. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha, Shri Matre Namaha.